Welcome everyone to Heart Snuggles. We hope you're having a great day today. I brought on an old friend from Seattle who I'm really excited to share with you guys. So go ahead and give yourself a little intro.
Hello, my name is Nyonza Musinguzi. I am a Seattle native, and I am just super blessed to be here. Lexi is amazing, everything that she's doing, putting on this platform, speaking to others. I believe that this is a time where people need to listen and speak. So thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so tell them where you are now, what you're doing for work and for fun.
Yeah, so I'm actually here in Austin, Texas. So I actually moved to Austin about a year ago. I decided to leave Seattle. I love Seattle, go Seahawks, but I decided to leave Seattle just because I wanted to get a different vibe to my day. I kind of felt like in a revolving door. I was blessed with all the opportunities that I did have in Seattle, but I thought it was a great opportunity. One of my best friends actually lives here in Austin, and so it was really easy for me to come down here. The job that I was working at the time, they were happy to transfer me to Austin and continue on with my position. So it just worked out so well. I'm currently working not at that company that I was transferred over here with, but now I'm working for a family business called Bizoe Inc. We are a home care agency slash skilled nursing staffing agency. We mainly work in Washington, the King counties, Snohomish, and Pierce counties. My current title is Vice President of Operations and Business Development. And really, what we do is we provide compassionate care to the people who need it the most, right? The generation that is the most vulnerable. And so, what I do every day is I lead a team of 30, 30 something people right now, and our main goal is to provide compassionate, consistent care. And so that's what I do, and I love my job. My mother built this beautiful company, and I'm just blessed to be here. So,
That's so beautiful. I love
uh,
that. And that aligns with you so well. You're such a compassionate being. So I'm so proud of you. I didn't know that you switched over. So that's amazing. And
yeah,
I'd love to hear or for you to share about your journey about being a first generation.
yeah. So definitely, when my mother moved here from Uganda, we are from Uganda, and she moved here when I was born. I was actually born in Canada, Toronto, but she came over here to Seattle. We had family over here, and you know, my mom had me, my brother. We were probably really young. My mother had to go back to Africa to go get my sister. So she left me with my family for, about 6, 8 months when I was really young. When she came back, she just started working, just like any immigrant that has kids and single mother. Um, and, 24 hours, 7 days a week, my mom was working. And really, I spent a lot of time with great coaches, mentors, church leaders, and organizations. My mom did an awesome job of making sure that we were always involved in something. We were always fed. She was always on top of that as a mother. And so, even clothes, back to school shopping, she would do anything that she can to make sure that, whether it was free, whatever it was, we were going to get what we got. And growing up, that was just how it was. And so I was blessed that I lived in the east side growing up, and the east side of Seattle. If you're familiar with that, there's Bellevue, Kirkland. You're talking some really high in wealth areas, and so there are low income families there. Don't There are a lot actually. There's some of the biggest income low income neighborhoods and population. I was super blessed to live on the East Side. We were able to meet some great people who cared about kids and cared about, life. And so I asked for help always. And that's, one of the things that I did growing up, being a low income person, is that, hey, when you went to school, talking to your counselor, opening up conversations, hard conversations, your counselors will ask you, hey, do you have, Thanksgiving breaks around the corner? Do you guys have, Thanksgiving dinner? Instead of saying no, I said, yes. I mean, instead of saying yes, I said no, right? Instead of being embarrassed and saying, no, we're okay, I always would ask for help. And, that's one of the hardest things of being I get it, being new to the country. You don't want to look like the, kid that's broke. You don't want to look like the kid that's getting the low income lunch. You don't want to look like the kid that has the big basket walking around before the 2 week break full of all the food. I get all that, but I was that kid. And the reason why I was okay with it, because I knew how much it meant to my mom. I knew how much it meant to the family. And once you get over that in your head of just not looking like that kid, it's like at the end of the day, that stuff didn't define me. I mean, maybe some kids made fun of me. Me and my brother used to wear football cleats to school when we were in elementary school because we didn't have any idea. Like when we were really new to the country, we had no idea, football cleats aren't worn to to school. And so we just saw the Nike sign and we're wearing full on cleats. And, it's things like that. We were truly, fresh to America. And so um, honestly, growing up, I know not everyone's blessed with the opportunity to be on the East Side. And if you're not, and you're in an area where you don't have as many opportunities, you got to look and you got to look deeper because, um, especially if you're in Washington, you could get help. You could get, the sort of assistance you need if you're having trouble getting back to school clothes, if you're having trouble with food, if you're having trouble in school, any sort of home issues, anything like that, you got to talk to your school counselors, got to talk to the people around you, talk to the adults around you. There's somebody that will help you. Um, Trust me, there's more good people in the world than bad. And that's something I truly do believe. And so, you will see the bad and you'll think, oh, everyone's so bad. No, there's more good people. Trust that. Trust that. So that's something that I learned growing up. There's more, good people than bad. And I just kept shaking hands with the good people. So I was super blessed and um, went to Bellevue High School. Again, another great school. If anybody knows Washington, played football there. Again, another great opportunity being part of such a legacy and dynasty. Go Bellevue. And, there is where I figured out that I wasn't going to go play Division I football. Um, I mean, I'm 5'6", 7 guys, and growing up, I always thought I was going to play D1, and there's some good kids there, and they weren't playing D1, and so that's where I really made that V turn in my life, and I was like, I'm going to focus on school, focus on networking, focus on relationships and communication, and um, that was a big point in my life. I mean, Bellevue did a lot for me. Some of the people I live with today, my closest friends, all came from Bellevue. Bellevue football program was great to me. Bellevue actually set me up for my first job right out of high school. I instead of going to college, we couldn't afford it. I did get into colleges but we just still, when we looked at everything, it wasn't going to work. And so we were going to go the junior college route, go to Bellevue College. But I got a great opportunity at Ford Sports, with Tracy Ford over there. He brought me in at 18 years old and he made me his right. He was like, you're my right hand. So my title there at 18 years old was head of business development for this new sports facility. And he's training guys like Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman. We got, Sierra's coming in, she wants, so it was awesome opportunity at 18 years old. And I love Tracy and that team and everything that those guys are doing for the Northwest and the kids. I mean, Tracy Ford, if you haven't heard of Tracy Ford, he is somebody in the community that is doing it for people. And if you're an athlete or if you're just a kid in high school and you want somewhere to go work out, message Tracy Ford. He'll help. I know that for a fact. So Tracy Ford's great. Worked there for a couple years, moved on from there, fell in love with food, of course. And I started in the restaurant industry, started at Maggiano's, went up through there, went to Mod Pizza, worked at Mod Pizza for 4 or 5 years, worked from I started at, the line and I worked up to management, worked into the construction management, new store development, Mod was great. That's where I learned how to love people. Mod is one of those companies where they put their people first. And so, I mean, that was where I really, really, truly learned, okay, people, everything we did at Mod Pizza was about people, right? And so building a company around that, being there during their startup time when they're the fastest growing restaurant company in America for 3 years in a row. I mean, I was part of that team. And so, and consistently, it was all about people. And so actually the founders are great mentors of mine. And I actually, really close with their son. And so, I truly believed and bled mod, if you know what I'm saying. I bled pizza sauce. And so I loved mod, and it was the best, best, best time of my life. I got so much opportunity, traveled all over the country. I mean, mod was, yeah, I loved mod. And I unfortunately left mod, once I came to Texas. Again, I was there for 6 years. And, I just felt like I needed something new. And so now I'm with my mother and working for her company. She started that company from scratch. She did. And she worked it for 10 years, and she handed me a full on company. And so all the props to my mom for what Be Zoe is today. Um, Still today, she's the one in charge. She's the one just absolutely killing it. So Be Zoe would not be where it's at without my mother. So it's been great.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got chills a few times when you were saying your story. So beautiful. And yeah, it's like you've really been, it's so cool that you've been guided with so many beautiful mentors along your whole journey, and like things have just worked out. And you not having shame around your story, I think, is huge because you were open to receiving. And anytime we're open to receive, we will be blessed. And
exactly.
it's
Amen.
hard to like remove that ego, but you really had to. And I'm so proud of you. And yeah, it's like it
Thank you.
goes to trust to just your path. You're like, all right, I wanted to be in football, but it's not it's not happening. So
I have it.
yeah, like some people just end their lives there. They're like,
Yeah.
that's all I had planned. That's it. That's all. But you're like, all right, nope. I'm gonna redirect. And like you just have such a good mindset. So I think that's really beautiful to see. And then now here you are back with your mama. That's so awesome.
Oh, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Definitely.
Yeah. And so will you share what happened with your dad?
Yeah. So my father and my mother, honestly, when my mom first came to America, my mom was with the intention of, okay, we're going to, come over here and my dad's going to follow. Well, my dad was like, I don't know about that. He has a PhD back home. He went to school for a really long time to get it in accounting. And so he has a business. And he really was like, look, if I come to America, I'm going to have to start from scratch and really do that. And he just didn't feel like it was, a good opportunity for him. He loves his kids. We talked all the time. He sent money. He came and visited once. And I love my father. He's a great guy. I still talk to him today. He has, my mom and him are still best friends. They are not legally together, but they still talk on the phone, and they laugh and send pictures. And it's, it's those guys were with each other since high school. So, and back home in Uganda, it's, there's small villages. So families are families. My aunt lives out here on my father's side. My father's brother lives in Canada, Toronto. We're all still very close. We're still a family. So even though my parents aren't together, he's still been a great, great, person in my life from afar. As my mother did have to take, the mother father role at times and teach me a lot of things that, maybe I wish my father was there to teach me. Of course, I wish my dad was there every day. But I mean, what am I gonna do? I mean, what am I gonna do? I had what I got. My mother was doing all she could. So what I spent time doing was talking to the male figures in my life that were around, and having those conversations with them: football coaches, mentors, teachers, counselors, even the janitor, the athletic director. I mean, there's so many male, good characters. You just got to look around and reach out.
Yeah, that's really good that you're able to accept it. It's like that's a choice again. Like you've just made such good choices. Like in those moments, you could have been like, well, sulked around, but you're like, no, let me figure out how I can still gain this wisdom from men. And I had to do the same growing up with just a dad. Like I had to find female figures to get that information from as well. And you just have to be resourceful. It's like,
You just got to be, right? I mean, it's like one of the things that I always tell people is like, if you don't ask questions, if you don't raise your hand, if you're not one of those people where you're actually engaged in what's going on and really thinking through it, you will not, how do I say this politically correct? You to get up in the life and to get what the life you need, you're going to have to ask questions. You're going to have to challenge things. Anybody that's successful, anybody that is a mentor or a figure that you would want to be, anybody that you look at and you're like, wow, that person's doing really well. They challenge things. They're not always understood. They're not always, approved by the community, right? These are people that come out there and challenge the norms and raise their hand and ask questions. And so that is the one thing that I do say is like, hey, if you're going to get anything from this podcast, challenge things, ask questions, and ask for help.
yep, me too. Those are some of my top values, and it's facts. It's like,
Come on.
oh, it's so good. So now I want to talk about how your faith. I know you have a pretty strong faith, so share your journey with that.
Yeah. So honestly, I grew up in a very, very Christian household, going to church, Sundays, going to summer camps, going to First Presbyterian. I was a city church goer, and then they turned into, I've been in church my whole life. I did lose, um, I don't mean to say I didn't lose my faith in God, but I did stop going to church for a point in my life. I did go through some dark times where I was making terrible decisions during that time. And I finally got a slap in the back of the head by the law. And they're like, hey, and it came close, to where I was going to get in serious trouble. And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to change a couple of my life decisions, change where I'm going. And I decided to start going back to church. I decided to start praying. I decided to start having a faith. And my faith is in God and Jesus. And so not everybody has that faith, and that's fine. But I found that to be something that's been powerful for me, to believe in something, to be able to reach out to something and understand that, the Holy Spirit's around. Recently, we brought on a director of operations, Mike, and he's a man of God, and he surrounds God with everything that we do at Be Zoe. And in the last 4 or 5 months, since he's been on, the growth, the speed that we're able to do things, the compassionate care, our deliveries, I've never seen anything like it. And he always tells me, he's like, it's God. And he always just says that. He's like, it's God. Don't question it. Just keep praying. We pray every morning and we pray every day at the end of the day. That's our last two things we do together. And we have a verse of the week. And we've completely surrounded God in our company. And we are just going like this and letting him take the wheel and control. And it's been going. And right now we have 6 positions open, RNs, LPNs. It's where we're at today. It's all because of God, my mother. And so that's really honestly where we're at with my faith is like, I've just surrounded everything I'm doing with God. And, of course I'm not perfect, but I do believe that, you can just try your best. You're not going to always be perfect. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you don't drink, you don't do it, you're just a soldier. No, it's, you're human. And, stuff happens. But, at the end of the day, you just got to have faith in God and faith in who you trust and faith in yourself and go like this, let him lead you or whatever you believe in, but just let him lead you. Right. That's what I've been doing and working with me. So.
That's beautiful. That's so nice to be in an environment where you guys share the same values. I think that is so important in all aspects of life because our environments shape us. And so it's important to be in healthy environments and be in environments that are so aligned with us. And that's same with relationships. Like you need to be with people that share the same values as you. And That must be really nice to be in that.
Yeah, it is.
And how are relationships for you outside of?
Well, that is, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not the best when it comes to like, so friends, tons of friends. Network, large. Love people. I treat everyone just like, that's how I am. I just shake hands, I say hi, I hug, I give you a kiss on the cheek, your family, right? Outside of that, who in my preference, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a partner or anything like that. I think that I am struggling on that vote because, I don't do a good enough time, doing enough balance in my life. I spend a lot of time working, a lot of time hanging out with friends when I'm not working. And so building that relationship and with, that significant other has been something that has been a struggle for me. But I do think that, as I grow, I think I've been on a honeymoon phase here in Austin. It's my first year. So as I grow and get more mature and understand, what I truly want in life, which is a family, kids, I want those things. And so I'm going to have to make that decision and really spend some time and effort. You can't just be a one text, hey, how are you? And then ghost. That's my problem. I'm just terrible at communication. And I'm
Wait,
going to get better at it.
I'm going to pause you because you're not actually terrible at communication. Um,
That's fair.
these are things we do in our minds. We trick ourselves. We're like, oh, I'm bad at this, but you're so good at communication. Look at this podcast. You've been so open, so vulnerable. Like you are good at communication. It's just about putting it in the area that you haven't been using it. So
That's fair. There it is. That's fair. See, I like that because I honestly need that boost because there are some great partners that I could potentially, even today that are just great friends of mine. And, you know, I just need to follow up, need to, be consistent, and be what a girl would like or what, whatever your partner is, or, just be that true kind person that, shows care. So I need to do a better job of that, but I'm working on it. It's coming. It's coming.
advertising it, it's like when you're ready, you will. And even the consistent thing, like you know how to be consistent. All these things that you think you don't, like you actually look at all the other areas of your life, like you have those skills. And I know when you do like choose to make that a priority, like you'll be reeling in a fine ass honey.
That'll be my goal, That'll be my goal. You'll be at my wedding. Don't worry.
Oh,
We'll
so
have
good.
a great time.
It'll be epic. So tell everyone how old you are and maybe what you're looking for in a woman. We'll call it in for you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm 24. To be honest, I'm just looking for, somebody that is, God led. I'm looking for somebody that is going to challenge me in every aspect when it comes to, especially the things that I'm the most interested in, right? So I know some people are like, oh, we're opposites. That would be cool if I found somebody that was my opposite. But truly, when I write it down on paper, it would be somebody that's interested in business, interested in sports. We could watch Sunday football together, who wants to do, outdoor activities, but not every weekend, but just like me, right? Like I like to go paddleboarding and go hiking and those things and camping, but can't be every weekend, right? Like I just want somebody that, loves animals as well. I have a beautiful pit bull named Beast. He's 6 years old. He's everything to me. So, you got to love Beast. And so truly, I mean, if you know anybody like that, Lexi, throw them my way. I'm here. I'll shoot from half court or I'll shoot hey, I got it.
Yeah, well, you just put it out into the universe. It's gonna come back to you. I'm excited to see it. So thank you for sharing that. And I guess just one thing, like, what are any challenges that you're going through right now?
Honestly, it's just truly just making sure that I, get some good, healthy relationships. Want to be healthier in life. I started working out. I'm doing 3 times a week. Trying to, run and doing cardio. I'm trying to get, in shape. I know that health is everything. I've been living ever since high school football was done. I'm still living in the past. Like, oh, I used to work out every day or whatever. Like, dude, you got to work out. You got to work out. So I've been working out here and there. Other challenges has just been organization, right? As we grow, we're going through growing pains, making sure that we're organized, staying on top of things. So I mean, those are my biggest challenges. I'm not sleeping too well either. I won't lie. And I think that's just from stress of the job. But I think that in the next, couple months, as we continue to put pieces underneath us, we'll have a good plan, and I'll be sleeping at night. But right now, those are really the biggest things. I mean, I'm truly blessed. I have a great group of friends here. I live in Austin, Texas. I've great, great, great people like you in my life, and I'm just truly blessed.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that. And I'm gonna get you on for a meditation one-on-one session so we can help with that stress and the sleep, because sleep is
Yeah,
one of the number one things for health. And when you can have a good night's sleep, like, whoo, that just helps so much. So I'll hook you up with that.
please. I'm literally at the point where the other day I was just like, I woke up at like 2, 3 a.m. and I was like, this is great. And I couldn't go back to sleep. So I ended up pulling up my laptop and just reading stuff. I mean, it is what it is, but I definitely need to get better at that. That is a challenge of mine.
Yes, yeah, that's valid. And I think a lot of people face that and we're just like, what's normalized, now it's like, oh yeah, me too, me too. But it's like, no, that's not normal. It's common, but it's not normal.
Need to sleep.
Yes.
Ugh.
And then I guess the last one, it's a heavy topic, but I know you've gone through a lot of deaths of friends and people in your life. So how have you managed that?
Yes. Yeah, rest in peace, Ryan Turman. Rest in peace, my boy Jesse. Um, Rest in peace, Ariel. It's been a rough year for everybody in Seattle, and just in general across the nation. Uh, Fentanyl kills, one pill kills, and it's something that people don't want to talk about. Like, oh, Nyonza, why did you just put them on blast by saying what it was? Well, because I want people to know. This is serious, serious, serious things. I'm watching families be torn apart, young kids. Um, how do I cope with it? I just turn to God. I pray. I mean, I'm heartbroken. I live with it every day. I'm still very close to their siblings. Uh, talk to them, and so it's been tough this last year. But I just want everyone to know, their fentanyl is everywhere. It's laced in the oxys. It's laced in anything that you think, Molly, um, the cocaine, whatever those drugs are out there that people are taking, it's in there. And so just stop taking them. Just please stop and just reach out for help if you're battling with that. Um, I believe that, everyone should be, everyone has their battles, and I get it, but you do recover if you do ask, get the help, and you do work at it. I've seen many people, I've been a part of many journeys. I've been a part, even at Mod Pizza, I had many, many employees. We were the number one employer, second chance people. So a lot of the people I worked with were getting that second chance, trying to be clean. And so I've seen the journey. I've seen people fail. I've seen people succeed. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it. It's not easy and it's hard, but you got it. Keep fighting, keep working at it every day. You're loved, and it's not worth it. Your family. I mean, it's been tough. It's been a tough year, but um, yeah, it's just one pill kills. So just that's my number one thing. Just one pill kills. Don't even try it. Don't even waste your time with it. Okay?
Yeah. So it's so unpredictable and so sad. Like it's the amount of lives that have been taken is unreal. Like, and it's just heartbreaking. It's like that, you did have a chance. And like you said, like you just gotta ask for that support and do the work. And yeah, the work is hard at first, but then like you get a whole lifetime, and so
Mhm.
worth that little bit of work. And as you said, like there is no recipe for grief. Like it just comes
Yeah.
for life. So yeah, you just take what emotions are there and deal with them when they come up. And You lean on your support system. So
Yes, definitely, definitely. And we've had a great support system. Everybody back home, all of our friends, we've all came together. We're still celebrating their lives, and um, it's definitely been it's been a rough year. But I think the word's getting out there. I think people are starting to realize that this is very serious. I mean, we are losing people in our communities like this. I mean, it's not this summer. This past summer was just chaos. So, um, rest in peace to all the lost lives. But we need to do better. Talking about it. We need to educate people. We need to have real stories in front of these kids at early ages. I think the understanding of drugs needs to happen at sixth grade. That's me personally. That's my belief. People, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a professional in children's, but I think that, in sixth grade, you're getting shown drugs. You're understanding what drugs are, and um, the way that this is going, the easier and easier it is to get pills on the street. I think the education needs to get, you know, a lot more aggressive and happen earlier. So
yeah, I think you're right. Like you said at the beginning, like, why are you talking about it? I had that happen too when I have a friend overdose. Don't tell anyone, don't tell anyone. I'm like, what do you mean don't tell anyone? Like, this is a huge problem. We need to be taught. Like they have shame around it, but it's like you are preventing more people from healing by having shame around their like I
yeah,
you and it's like it's so important. We need to talk about it and yeah.
it's been tough. Yeah. I mean, we'll all, I think one day we will all, look back on this whole time in our lives. I hope this does slow down. I know the fentanyl, I know they're working on it. I know that there's many people working to stop fentanyl coming into America or being produced here in America. But um, that is definitely killing a lot of people. And it needs to stop. So talk about it, spread the love, spread the education. One pill kills. Um, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, thank you so much for opening up and sharing
of
about
course.
that. And so we're gonna wrap it up here. I have one last question, which is a question of the podcast, and that is, what was the last random act of kindness someone did for you?
Oh, so I know this is the one that sticks out most to me. Was during the snowpocalypse here in Texas. Um, we, lost a bunch of power and everybody was just running wild. There's so much snow. There's only one snowplow in all of Austin, or wasn't that much snow. Okay.
I know.
But we just were ill prepared. And so it was like anarchy. I mean, it was chaos in the streets. I mean, so there was a time when, nobody could use their bathrooms, any of that. And so there's a huge line at this restaurant that had power. And I forgot my wallet. I stood in line for like an hour and I forgot my wallet. And I look at the guy and he's like, it's okay, you're good. And and I ordered a bunch of food for my room. And he just was like, you're okay, you're good, you're good. And it was like, he didn't even question it. I was just like, and I didn't even have a moment to say a word. And that right there is why, those industry people are the real MVPs, man. Come on. They're working there in the snow. It's freezing cold. He's out here just giving out food to people that are in need. I mean, even if I could afford it, and I know I could have, and he probably could have made me just run back and meet me at the top of the line. He was just like, don't worry about it. Right. And so that right there was a blessing. And that was a huge random act of kindness.
That's so nice. That's so, so sweet. I love those stories just make my heart snuggle.
It's a great question.
Thank you. So if someone wants to find you or know what you're up to, where can they find you and anything you want to share with people?
Yeah, Instagram, the real Nyonza Musinguzi. I made that when I was a kid. And Twitter at real Nyonza. And then if you just want to find information on Bezoe, you could go to www.bezoehomecare.com. Feel free to reach out anytime if you're somebody that's just looking for help networking with people, mentors. If you're a young cat in Seattle area or Washington or Austin, I'm around. Just reach out. If you're looking for sports training or anything like that, reach out to me. I got you. I know a lot of people, just ask. What do you need? Just ask, right? And maybe I can help, right? And so let's reach out, DM me. My DMs are open. And I'm always there to talk. So thank you so much, Lexi, for having me on. And it's been just truly a blessing. Thank you again for this platform. You're amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so excited. And everyone, like, definitely reach out. He's the sweetest little pea in the pot. And you didn't really see it on this episode, but he's also hilarious. So have a good, you'll have a good chat. I still have that memory of when we were in Sun Valley and you made that little bear talking. Oh my God.
We have good times, man. I love it. I love people, and people make me just happy. So if I could see you smiling, let's just all smile together, man. Come on. Love it.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lexi. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much.